Alright, let's do the sound test. Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, your sister. We're continuing with Life Makeover. Alright, perfect. Let's do the cold truth chapter. We did first we did the beautiful night. Now we're doing the cold truth. The sun was shining through the window onto the table front. The later surface that was big and span with everything as neatly organized as it could. Everything was exactly the same as prior to when Ashley left.
Look what I've got here.
Well, and I made sure to take it to the actual fireworks spring summer show. But this is expensive.
I just got a huge order, so let's treat this as a little celebration. Well, what are you waiting for? If you don't get up now, you're gonna end up being late. Come on! You don't want to miss out, do you? Nirvana has over 10,000 fans now.
What?
Get your lazy bum out of bed now and get ready for school.
Wow, that's just bullying me again. My words came floating back to me like a tidal wave. I sat by my sister's head and slowly sorted out all of her data, missing insurance cases, park kidnapping, business espionage. Every single case here was like a medal representing my biggest achievement. What's this? An encrypted photo caught the attention of my eyes. I tried entering my birthday, the file open, and the figure of my sis came out right before my eyes. Don't put people's birthday as a password for stuff. She was glancing at me with a smile, eyebrows and hair looking as per usual, and even her breath seemed so real. Sis. I wish I had nothing to touch it, but only to grab a handful of nothingness. It was nothing but a hologram.
My dearest little sis. I'm delighted that we could see each other again like this.
As the sound of her familiar voice echoed, I felt the tears on my eyes nearly come pouring out. Ashley's smile slowly faded as the voice grew distant. For a long time now, I dedicated myself to tracking down murderers and studying design in order to keep busy and wall off the pain. And I thought this would be enough to make me forget the pain of her departure from this world brought me. But when the sound of her voice ran through my ears, the while I worked so hard came collapsing down like it was nothing. The pain came hitting me like a tidal wave that submerged my entire body, making it nearly impossible for me to breathe. I tried my best to calm myself down, and I took a deep breath and wiped my tears, and I glanced at the hologram of my sister once more.
By the time you see this hologram, you likely already know what mind simulation is. There were so many things about this ability that I wanted to tell you, but I never found the chance, nor knew how to even bring it up to you. Hence, why I recorded this hologram for you, for when the time was right.
I had no idea sis was already thinking about my future this early on.
When I first found out about this ability, I was scared to death. Because I witnessed the malevolence and disaster it caused. Luckily for me, I discovered by chance that this ability could also help others in need. And from then on, I began accepting it and put it to use, eventually becoming the detective that I am now. But then, something happened in me that made me reflect upon this question. How exactly should I deal with the truth I have seen? With this in mind, I thought you might encounter the same perplexity as I did upon the use of the ability. And so, here I am to tell you this story and hope that it's going to help you avoid the same situation. Oh, and after story time's over, I'll let you in on a few more secrets about this ability of ours.
Thank you,
Though
sis.
there are many secrets that surround our ability, and lurking about are also some great dangers. So, before learning all there is to it, I want to make sure that you're completely ready for any of the potential dangers that could occur. As a result, you'll find that I segmented the hologram into different parts. Each of these parts may only be opened after reaching a certain level of sentiments. Well, it's time to test out your ability.
The first message left requires to wear gorgeous dress that is suitable for spring banquet. Everything's coming back to life. The spring flowers are bloom and even the air here is sweet.
I was only 17 at that time, and it had only been a year since I started using the ability to investigate cases. That day, I went to buy pastries for you as usual.
Tierney, who was sitting behind the counter with his head held low, stood up with his face full of worry as he actually entered the store.
Why the long face?
Well, even just the thought of it makes me sick. Ever since the beginning of this year, our pastries keep getting stolen day in and day out. It happened again this morning, as the cherry pastry I made earlier in the ancient ways was stolen.
Oh no. Did you call the police?
Nope, it would only bring me more trouble, since these don't cost much and it would just disrupt business here. Oh, Ashley! Well, word has it you're a private detective of some kind yourself. Would you be so kind as to help?
I'll get right to it.
Brilliant! You'll figure out who's behind all this, and I'll give you a year's supply of lotus pastries.
At this moment, a girl came into the store, and her hair was short and about her ears, and she had a peaceful face that was also a little cautious and timid.
Hi, welcome home.
Hey, Dad. I've got some homework to finish first.
The owner had a large smile on his face as he washed her head back into the
That was
bag.
my little girl. When her mother was still pregnant with her, we thought she was a boy, hence the boy's name. When she was younger, she also had the personality of a boy. But after many years of guidance, she's finally a little girly. Now, not only is she good at getting chores done, but she's also great at cooking.
As he was praising his daughter, the door opened and in came a woman with an angry face who was carrying a young boy.
Here requires some discipline of yours. To steal the school's monitors and sell them for money is one thing. But to steal the lunch of a poor little girl and have her starve the rest of the day is even worse.
What? Don't worry, Miss Chin. I'll give him a good beating.
Such a thing cannot be taught by giving him a beating. Nor should you only rely on the school to teach him. Family guidance is also important. I need to visit a few other kids, so I'll leave it up to you now. Please put more effort into doing what I just mentioned.
Miss Sarah, she walked out of the door. I guess kids are, children are still getting beatings from their parents in the future. Oh well. Saxon noticed how furious his father was, so he lowered his head and tried quickly escaping to the back, only to be lifted up by his father. The boy cried in fear, but the owner seemed to remember that Ashley was still present, and he eventually suppressed his anger and let the boy go.
Back now. Have your sister help you with your homework.
Saxon straight into the back room without even waiting for his words to finish. Looks like it ends here. Let's see what this has in the store next to me. Bad and used for the age of girlhood. In that case, it's changed into a lively and fresh style. After the boy left, the owner turned back around and smiled apologetically at Ashley.
Sorry about that. You know how it is with children.
Of course. Don't worry about it. Let's get back to the store theft.
Oh yeah, so that's where we were. Well, if I'm being honest, I actually already knew who the thief was. It's just that I didn't have any evidence.
Oh, really now?
Mm-hmm. It was Mr. Do-Over from next door. He has always wanted to learn the pastry craft that was handed down to me over generations. A couple years ago, he even begged me to take him under my wing, but I refused. After that, he frequently spread rumors about our store in an attempt to ruin us. Some of the rumors include things such as us using expired flour, the syrup we use containing worms, and even people getting food poisoning from our food. I'm telling you, it definitely was him. He stole the pastry so that he could steal my recipe.
Ashley nodded off in response, and in the middle of the owner sorting out the nearly 3 months of debt, Ashley decided to go and see what Deuce had to say first. Deuce ran a rather elaborate private price store with significant difference down compared to that other small store.
Hello, lady. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to get, one cherry deluxe, please.
Everyone kind of stopped making this pastry a while back now. The cherry snowflake would be the next most similar, so would you like that instead?
Now, 1 second later, the cherry snowflake was there, along with a layer of honey-dried cherries on top of a soft cheese. She thought that the creamy fragrance and honey exploding in her mouth, balanced with freshness and cherries. It was totally different from the small store owner's creation. Deuce friendly denied that what was accused of him by the
After
owner.
being stolen from, he insisted on it being me, and even came here to cause trouble a few times.
But according to what he told me, he said you two had a dispute, and that you even spread rumors about his store.
Rumors, you say? Oh, that is simply nothing more than a competition. As for stealing pastries, you will not find that over here. And as you can tell from being here, you can see that our innovations are more focused on integrating the elements of Western pastries, rather than on Chinese traditional pastries like those of next door. With that in mind, that gives us all the more reason to not steal from them, right?
Deuce has a point that is here completely different from the owners, and no matter how I look at them. He doesn't allow the accusation that those stealing pastries to learn his recipe is starting to fall apart now.
One would not simply just steal a pastry if they were out for revenge. For something like this, the perpetrator is usually either someone of their own, or their own kid that decided to indulge themselves. If not, it was probably someone who doesn't like the owner, and wanted to get back at him in a way that wouldn't cause actual damage to the store.
Someone of their own perhaps Deuce is onto something. Regardless, it looks like I ought to investigate some before I can reach a reasonable conclusion. Helen de Tennessee many style elegant girl who walked the streets from the previous century. Simple and daily vintage style for should suit well. As she returned to the small store just in time as the owner finished piecing together rough a 3-month timeline of the theft based on his memory. The pastry was unwritten on the day it was put out, indicating that the thief knew very well what was going internally. And I got a feeling that this was right about it being inside just so they started asking the staff around first. The small store was run by the owner and his wife, who also employed a waitress and a pastry chef.
Stealing pastries of ours? Who would bother? Even I'm sick of eating them by now. So long as I'm getting paid enough, whatever happens outside of this kitchen, I pay no attention to. I just make desserts is all. So as for details about this incident, I'm about as clueless as you are. You'd be better off asking someone else about it.
My boss is a decent person. It's just that he sometimes can have a bad temper. 2 days ago, he had an argument with his wife that went so bad that his wife went back to her parents' home for a while. After that, I was busy left, right, and center and almost couldn't keep up. But luckily, I had the help of Kai. Every day before school, she would help me clean and take out the garbage. And when she gets back from school in the afternoon, she even helps me greet new customers.
And what about Zach?
Zach? He does nothing at all. He's nowhere near as good as his sister is. If I had to guess, he was probably the one who stole the pastries. He's always been a petty thief as far as I can remember. Not to mention his immense love for sweets that ruined his teeth. Now that you mention it, I do remember seeing him wandering around the pastry counter earlier this morning.
Have you told your boss about this at all?
Regardless of how strict my boss looks, he still treats his kid as a treasure of his. I'm merely just a worker here, so why would I bother wasting my time with their family affairs?
As she checked the timings of the recent tests again, noticed that the time seemed to revolve around mornings and evenings. And to be more specific, the times were right before and right after school, and there was no more tests at noon during was the most crowded period. Maybe it was really sad. A kid as it was he's a mischievous and loves candy, and even has a history of being a thief. Everything is pointed to him being the culprit. And let's take a look at fanático and beautiful outfit like a lone rose blooming out in the wilderness. Whether that makes sense. Ashley eventually looked at Seth, who was with Kai keeping him with his homework.
I'm done with this! It's too boring! Zach, if you don't get to finish this, I'm gonna be the one who gets scolded by Dad.
The brothers and sisters then noticed Ashley standing in the doorway.
I was tasked by your father to investigate the recent theft, and I had a few things to ask you too.
You're not suspecting that we did it, are you?
That I did not say. I'm just here to get a better understanding of what happened.
You adults are all the same. Don't think I didn't know what you were thinking. My sister and I would never steal anything from our home. Especially those pastries. We got sick of them ages ago.
After Seth's frustration, their father walked on and saw Ashley was questioning, immediately assuming it was Seth who stole the pastries. It reminded him of Seth's recent performance at school, making him even more furious.
It was you all along. I'm gonna have to teach you a good lesson today, young man.
It wasn't me.
Ignoring Seth enough, he began to patient twist his ear.
I was just here to ask about the incident.
Ashley tried her best to explain herself in order to calm him down, but to no avail.
Little rat. Once your sister gets married in the future and moves out, what of this home wouldn't be yours? Must you steal it right now? Everybody says to have children to support us in our days of old age. But if you're like this now, then how can I count on you in the future?
Father Angolis called him prepared to discipline by whacking his bottom with a board and said, well, as he burst into
It
tears.
wasn't Zach.
Knock it off! Your little brother made a mistake and must pay for it. You, being his big sister, should also feel ashamed for letting him do this.
The board within a box was about to come swinging at him, and Ashley finally mustered up enough courage to step forward and shield Zach and Kai
Look,
from him.
this incident could entirely be someone else's doing. So how about I take them along with me? Once I've fully completed my investigation, I'll come back and present my findings to you.
After Ashley took the two youngsters and left the store as if they were making a break for it. More than a thief, what you should call it is like sci-fi future shelf service. Why did it end like at a time like this? I tend to do a styling thing. The trio sat by the park as Sad continued to throw what Kai said not a single word. As she wanted to cheer them up, but had no idea what to say. After all, she was only 17 years old at the time. Seeing that the day was coming to an end, Ashley decided to take the two back to their place first. Before she could take to bed, Ashley suddenly stopped and turned around as she saw a homeless child safely hiding in the woods
That
nearby.
kid just now. Do you guys know him?
The two youngsters shook their hands. Hassan, the kid has been following us ever since we came out of the store. After safely bringing the two of them home, Ashley set off to the park once more and found the homeless child. According to the child, he was worried because he saw Kai with an unfamiliar person. She seemed to be quite down. Following her was on one hand and a way for him to ensure her safety, and on the other he wanted to try to find a way to comfort her.
She brings us tasty food, so we all love and appreciate her very much. Today, she gave us some sort of cherry-flavored deliciousness.
It was clear at this point that the perpetrator was actually Kai, which seemed to have shocked Ashley. After seeing Seth being taught a lesson, she decided to bring Kai along for a chat.
Kai, did you steal your own family's pastries?
Ashley tried to keep her tongue gentle, but Kai kept her head down and hiding the expression on her face.
Talking about.
Every single morning, you helped the waitress take out the garbage, and you brought fresh pastries to the homeless children in the park. The food the kids received today just so happens to be related to the missing pastry, the Cherry Deluxe. Do you have anything you would like to say, Kai?
Kai continued to keep her head down.
I
This
just want to know
time,
why you chose to do this. In everyone's eyes, you were always the outstanding young little girl.
Kai suddenly raises her head upon hearing these words.
Outstanding girl? That's not who I want to be at all. I don't like cooking, sweeping the floor, or even taking care of my little brother.
I said that Kai wasn't willing to live up to the expectations that everyone had of her, and I wonder how Cece's gonna deal with this. Let's see if I'm able to unlock the next hologram with my current ability now. After a moment of staring at each other, Ashley eventually fell into the heart of the young
Do you
girl.
hate your father?
No.
Kai denied Ashley's word without any hesitation, but Ashley paid no attention
I
to
know
it.
you hate him. It may seem all good on the outside with him treating you well and always providing you with food and clothing. But in reality, in his mind, you are the daughter that is to be married off, and Zach is the true heir of his. Such strong thoughts always show themselves eventually. He himself might not have even noticed it happening himself. You hate him. You long for his love and approval. So while you were trying to be the daughter he always wanted you to be, you had no choice but to steal and release your frustration through this way.
You're making things up.
I am speaking nothing but facts. This is what is truly going on inside your mind.
You think you know me well. You know nothing.
Kai ran out as soon as she finished speaking and Ashley followed her bird. Kai was left nowhere to be seen. It was already that when Ashley got back to the she realized that Kai wasn't back home yet. And after a quick explanation to her father what happened, the two headed out into search for young Kai. In the end, they found her at a corner of an isolated street.
So, the one who stole from the store, was it really Kai?
It was, though she had her reasons. She's at that stage of puberty where her mind is rather sensitive and can sometimes feel like you're showing favoritism towards Zach.
Favoritism? We've been nothing but fair to her. All her food and clothing are in no way different from that of Zach's.
The favoritism I'm referring to isn't tangible, but what's in your heart. To you, Zach is the true heir to your family, correct? You thought that as a daughter that's to be eventually married off, Kai should be the one to take responsibility of doing housework and taking care of her younger brother.
But that's just how things have always been since ancient times. Indeed, she will one day be married, so that's why she should be the one doing the housework now.
Times change, and such ways of thinking are outright wrong now.
Like, this is the 31st century. Get with the program, dude.
I know it's hard for the standards of an old generation to change, but for the sake of your daughter, please try and understand her point of view.
Yeah, because like the daughter doesn't live in a bubble. She's seeing that all the daughters get to decide their own fate, but you know, you have already decided that when you're 21, you're gonna be in an arranged marriage, and it's somebody that was picked out ages ago. The owner seemed to have more to say, but in the end, he agreed. On her way, Ashley took a quick peek at Kai, who was staring at her with eyes of anger. Things should be better for now, hopefully. Ashley comforted herself and suppressed her anxiousness as she left the small store. I wonder if Kai's parents are really going to change after the eldest open at the next organization. Oh, I doubt it. It's gonna be much, much worse. Bit by bit, the case of the store theft, like all cases that were solved, slowly faded into oblivion with each day. Until one day.
Thanks to the clues you provided, the case was solved. The group of gangsters were also arrested and brought to justice.
Just doing my job, sir.
As the police interrogated escorted the suspect out of the cell, actually called the set of a familiar figure. If it wasn't for Kai's stunning and random response, she wouldn't have believed her eyes. The girl that had stood before her had the face of a rebel with heavy makeup that failed to conceal her bruised eye. She now resembled nothing close to whom she once
You know this
knew.
young lady?
I do. Was she also involved in this gang theft?
At the time of arrest, she was with the group of gangsters. But our thorough investigation has confirmed that she was not involved in the actual theft. I was just about to give her family a call to come and pick her up.
There's no need for that. I know her family well, so how about I take her home instead?
I don't want to go home.
But after heading out of the police station, Kai suddenly opened her
Why
mouth.
Why not? Because of you!
Kai looked at Ashley with great
If it weren't for
resentment.
you blabbering on in front of my parents, things wouldn't be like this now, would they?
What do you mean?
They said I was ungrateful and called me a hypocrite. Even our neighbor said I'm no conscience at all. You thought that as long as you told the truth, the problem would be solved. But in reality, it only made things worse.
After Kai finished ranting, she sat down on the street and cried, and Ashley stared at her completely dumbfounded. She honestly believed that she had found the solution to the problem through the mind simulation of Kai, and she thought that so long as Kai maintained open channels of communication with her parents, they could eventually solve their issues and live a happy life. That's debatable. And it wasn't until now that she realized how wrong she was. The stubbornness of humans is difficult to change. She completely overlooked the potential harm to Kai if her parents didn't end up being convinced to change their view. Perhaps she should tackle this in another direction.
You don't like this life, right?
As she took in a deep breath, as she calmly asked her, and Kai became
If you don't go
speechless.
home, you're only going to make your parents and neighbors feel even worse about you. You should also know that you, and only you, can free yourself from this situation by getting a good education and eventually move out.
You think that I'm the one who doesn't want to go to school? After school, I need to go back home. I just can't.
Well, how about going to a boarding school then? That way, you won't have to go home.
But there's no way they'll agree to that.
As long as you're willing to go back to school, I can help convince your parents to send you to a boarding school.
Kai looked at Ashley with a doubt, but ultimately accepted her proposal. Although the road had ups and downs, it looks like everything worked out in the end. Looked at this one last hologram and wondered what this was about. And for styling thing.
A couple of years later, I heard Kai was admitted to a decent university and that the relationship with her family eased up. Though, she still decided to work in a city far from home and rarely ever went home. And up until now, I still have no idea whether or not she forgives me for what I did. It was through this incident that made me realize that while mental simulations can help reveal the memories of others, it doesn't mean that we can fully understand those memories of theirs, not to mention empathize with them. That's why we must still remain super considerate of everything when it comes to handling the truth. The fact that you are here watching this must mean that you've made great progress in your ability. It's time for me to tell you the last secret. This one is about the source of our ability. Our parents used to work at...
Sis? Okay, my birthday celebrated followed by the vanishing of my sister's hologram. The video cut out.
File corrupt.
Then fix it, robot. Sis, before I knew what tears came flowing down my cheeks and I came the bitterness of tears in the corners of my mouth. It is really that I still get to hear sis say again. Starting like a rotifa, I pulled myself together, drying my tears as I took a deep breath. It's fine as long as I can face it, I'll be able to see my sister once again. And the setting sun were the tired birds returning home to their nest as they let out cry as if responding to me. And clenched both my fists. Sis, we'll see each other again, I promise.
I'm Larry, the...
The placement of the drop shoulder doesn't feel right with a set in the shoulder suited better. And I keep tweaking the dust, but every face and inch like the mannequin and pins blurs into one. I wake up and sun is definitely catching up with me. And even after the work, something still feels off with the design. Artsy sister, your coffee's getting cold. Is it not to your liking? Am I facing a creative block? Wait, what did he say? Oh, it's fine. I guess we could go with a regular shoulder. Why was I? Is it before? Artsy sister, you barely said a word to me today. Do I deserve this for crushing you on you? Larry complains dramatically, but I know I've become quite familiar with his playful banter. Didn't we agree to work on our drafts today? And how's the great writer Larry going? Larry turns his left just to expect a spotless new document as expected. With you occupying my thoughts, how can I focus on the screen? He says theatrically before I can tell him not to blame external factor. He leans in expectantly. Or I can wait for the media to split me into or stays with you while the other focuses on the draft. Already I suspect that even if there was one Larry at home, it's the real Larry. Efficiency is still hinges on his mood, doesn't a great writer? I pretend to think it over and then drop a mock and serious conclusion. Larry couldn't suppress a grin. The news mentioned I made you shower tonight. How about we go watch it together? His eyes light up and I noticed it before giving it a thought and biting back a chuckle. I gestured forward. It's a 10 out for fortunately great writer, and would you have a pull and all-nighter? Larry returns her running surprise only to find Wade storming into the shop indignantly. When he seems to have captured something and was a fleeting joy on his face, he dashes you indignantly. Seeing the despair on his face, I can't help but chuckle. With your meteor column handling way, should you walk into park ride? You focus on writing, great writer. I'm off to seek some inspiration myself. I put a funny face on the pale Larry and dashed out of the cafe before waking catch him. How did I end up dozing up on the workbench and around my surround while the breeze gently stirs in the starlight reflected on the cup on the table? Then you mentioned the meteor shower tonight. How about we go watch it together? It must have ended by now, right? Feeling slightly down, I gazed at the design dress before me. I've been tweaking the plans as I got back, but still, a little aside, perhaps I need a change of scenery to clear my mind. Yet it feels like there's a knot on my chest that refuses to loosen. Another breeze switched to, suddenly I noticed a faint electronic sound from the living room. Did I forget to turn off the computer? With a thought, I turned on the phone to get my towards the living room. What on earth? In the lights, a brown hair with a halo over his head, sitting across leg and crossing again. Around my eyes, and convinced I'm still dreaming. But when I opened my eyes, there's a familiar figure still there. The electronic saw dance around my eyes, and so real. Larry, how did you get in here? A bit of a dead Larry turns around, and both his eyes quickly light up with joy. Artsy, sister, you're awake. I've been waiting for ages. Larry blinks, his eyes filled with pure innocence and blindingly bright smile. I find myself somehow at the seat, and I see countless expressions on his face. But I must admit, there's something different about him now. What's up? Don't you recognize me? Artsy, sister. Larry's eyes lowered slightly with a hint of disappointment in his voice, but then looks up at me in a smile twinkling like starlight. It's alright if you don't. I'm Larry the angel to keep you company, Artsy, sister. How do you get in here? Is this another one of your experimental theaters? His eyes sparkled with anticipation as he tilts his head naturally. Well, Artsy, sister, when I go a copy, I found you in a sound sleep so I kept myself entertained. He shades from cheerful a baby blue as he talks, and he's assuming to see him drop his usual confident demeanor. So sneaking into someone's home and wearing a disguise was your game this time. To my surprise, Larry takes my hand and his eyes sincere and earnest. I'm a part of him, a media split us, so I can stay by the side of his love without distraction. Media separation looks like Larry hasn't forgotten the story he spun at the cafe. Thankfully, he's quite charming and cheerful in this form. Alright, the great writer never holds back imagination just to make us smile. So I guess you won't mind if I take a momento. With a tease, I pulled my phone from him, and I wonder how he will play innocent tomorrow. But the one I switch on the camera, I'm genuinely stunned. The game console and the stars, but I can't see you in the camera. How's that possible? The moment seems becoming even more bizarre. Must be the work of an enemy stand. Larry begins to rise gracefully, drifting toward me as if weightless. Missy Tessie, why don't you believe me? I am an embodiment of love for you, separated by a meteor. How is this possible? As I instantly lift my hand to shield myself when my fingers pass right to his shoulder. Impossible, the meteor separation even happened. I spring to my face and my voice piercing the thick night air as I from workbench. Well, it was a dream, and I was on the brink of searching for Larry's clever trick of flying. Then dawn, a distinct shine pulls me to my thoughts, and a friend request appears on my screen. I tap to find an unfamiliar profile picture, and the message attached says, "I'm Larry, save me." Confused, I check my friends list and dial Larry's name, and his profile picture dims to gray. And a sense of dread washes me, and then I send a cautious reply, but there's no reply. This isn't like Larry at all, and has something happened to him? Just as I say it, saw the message flashes again. "I'm Larry, save me." Weird as things might seem, these words scream and scam at me. No way, and it would be shocking if that guy were pretending to be the scammer himself. But what if he's really in trouble? And with that thought in mind, I tap open the friend request page, and an instant hit a set and a torrent of messages flood in. That's how viruses happen. I said to say, have you accepted for myself on the street with no memory but this number and your name? Can you come pick me up, Emma? Hold on, he mentioned a location right below my apartment. Is this guy really Larry? That tone is so familiar. And I glance out the window and faintly see a solitary figure in the corridor. No way, is he really? With no time to waste, I quickly get dressed and dash outside. Before me stands a man, hair unkempt and clothes disheveled, looking at lost in the cold night breeze. From every angle he seems to be Larry, but what happened to him? He's a far cry from his usual polished and well-dressed self. Wait, hang on a second. I cut him off and then I pull out my phone and carefully angle the camera to capture his figure in the frame. This time the image is clear, not stay still. Larry looks confused as his skeptical tug at my cheek, and despite his painful protest, yet the texture feels real and soft. Again, it seems like I'm not dreaming, so what's going on? But it seems I'm not dreaming, so what's going on? I don't know either. When I woke up here, I found myself nothing but as a sister in my mind. Larry raises his head slightly and his eyes clouded with confusion, but they brighten upon seeing me. But I remember you, everything about you, and I remember that I exist to keep you company. Run. That sounds so familiar.
Larry, the angel to keep you company.
I made a split as a stool so I can stay by the side of his love without distraction. You're not going to say you came from a meteor, are you? How did you know? Larry's eyes widen as he dramatically slaps a hand over his mouth. He glances around, ensuring no one near, and leans over to whisper, "Shush, this is a crazy secret between Meteor and me. Don't tell anyone else." Don't you believe me? I believe you're a lunatic. But let's move it along. Larry blinks, his red eyes sparkling like flawless gems, pure and untouched. The person before me is unmistakably Larry, but those eyes don't look right on him. Larry's eyes always hold a playful, unfathomable depth, glimmering with a hint of danger. For a moment I lost in thought, and could there be another version of Larry separated by a meteor's magic? Now you're the only one I can count on, Artsy sister. You won't send me away, will you? The light breeze sends him shivering, and my silence makes his eyelids sink, trembling with a restraining motion. If you don't want me here, his sister, so be it, and I'll wander alone through the dark, cold streets. Let's go inside first. And upon this one, Larry lifts his head with a childlike smile across his face. Whatever is he planning? Looking into the familiar yet strange eyes, I find something inside me stirring softly. Killing some time with him doesn't seem like so much of a loss. After all, I never seen this version of Larry before, surprisingly endearing. Back at home, I asked Larry to make a bed for himself while I send a message to Wade. Before I can get a reply, he's already by my side again. I've done everything you asked, his sister. Now can we have a proper conversation? The person saw you travel for days, but you kept it to yourself. Now I'm the one carrying the weight. I'm taken aback, and I thought Larry was just trying to get more of my attention this afternoon. Now I realize perhaps he's subtly trying to ease my stress all along. The true cause of this painful plea is me, always trying to handle everything alone and refusing to share my burdens with him. Unsure how to start, I hesitate, and Larry, sensing my doubt, begins to plead with a hint of hurt. I must admit, without all of the pretense, that he's much harder to resist. Don't worry, I'll explain. Just let me go for a moment, and I'll go get the blueprints for you. With the drawings I took from the studio, I began detailing the assignment to Larry, walking with him through my various concepts and highlighting where they would seem lacking. He listened with keen interest and occasionally posing thoughtful questions, and as I began to explain, my previous tangled thoughts began to unravel, with much like the character described as famous technique. That is it, I know something is missing in his head, but I can't figure it out. When I asked the meteor, it grant my wish, and I surely can fulfill yours too, Artsy sister. Your wish, you mean having another version of yourself to deal with drafts at home. Larry shakes his head solemnly as is, and when he speaks again, there's a hint of shyness is gone. A familiar depth surrounds us, enveloping me in its warmth. That other self is just an empty shell, and my only wish is to be with you and with my heart and soul forever. And for a moment, I'm at loss for words, unsure how to respond. Suddenly, Larry seems inspired, and he takes my hand, leading me outside. I know struggling in silence with my work may be useless, but I asked him where we're headed, and he just gives a mysterious smile and mouths 3 words: "Find the meteor." Atop of the hill, outside of the sky, and a bright street shoots across the sky, leaving a dazzling trail. I made it. Wait, isn't it over already? Otherwise, when did you make a wish? I look at Larry in amazement, and in the moment all clicks into place. With a gentle smile, he places a finger on my lips and gestures for me to sit on the soft grass. To my surprise, the meteor shower is just beginning perfectly timed. Larry and I sit together, shouldering silence, and the tension has been gripped my heart for the days begins to unwind, releasing the wave of the strings of line. Perhaps media separation truly exists in this world. I think I can feel it. And I remember sadly as if in a dream, beside me Larry lets out a gentle laugh, gazing at the night sky as he begins to speak. Artsy says, do you know why that Larry wished for the media to split him? Because even the greatest detective needs an assistant by their side, and together they can eventually figure things out. Larry spoke with a newfound confidence, and he turned to me and gently touching my cheek. Now I gotta let go of everything else, all the pain and struggles, and I remember only my deepest wish, to be with you and tackle every challenge together. That is why I exist. And as the meteor shower reaches its peak, the dazzling light reflected in his eyes, capturing my image. It's like a meteor carried off my soul, leaving me weightless and free. In that dreamy moment, I wonder if it really is another Larry. Wait, I got it. I suddenly shouted and leaping out of his embrace, and I just need to separate the waist and belt and add some flair to the armhole, and that's it, I get it now. Now I'm the one acting like a child, twirling with joy under the meteor-lit sky. Larry beams with the light immediately and drives me home. Perhaps it was because of a shifting perspective of the meteor granted me a wish, and from the sketches to the prototype, inspiration flowed like meteor shower. Beside me, Larry quietly hands me the tools, reminding me to take breaks, and occasionally helps me refine detail, mostly staying close in silence. And I get so lost in my design world that everything else fades into the background, until after a beautiful notification brings me back to reality. It's a message from Wade, he said. I turned to look at the innocent-looking guy. Such a sneaky one. I stretch and step out of the studio, and the finished prototype in my hand, and Larry is leaning by the window, and the last meteor streaks across the skies, casting their final light. When he noticed me, he walks over and gently takes the prototype from my hand to examine it closely. Everything was smoother than expected, and I'll definitely meet the deadline. Larry grins with genuine joy as the night sky returns to calm, and he reaches out as if to catch a last meteor. I always know that you can achieve whatever you aim for. And he turns around and holds out his spear, revealing a shimmering meteor.
After all, you are the shining star that makes my dreams come true.
The room is filled with dazzling light and fragments of light as always, and his endless clever ideas have never failed to surprise me. Thank you, and enjoy the role-playing game today, great writer. If it has inspired you, do share your insights with me. Upon my friend Larry feigns ignorance, tilting his head in a mock confusion. As his sister, something terrible happened. Larry has turned into a mannequin. Suddenly, Wade's panic shouts breaks the moment, startling Larry, and I hold my phone with a grin and showing the voice note he sent earlier. Sorry, I was too mad, and I meant he's pretended to be working by the window, but it is just a mannequin. With my evidence in hand, Larry can no longer keep his eyes, and we burst out into laughter. The beautiful moments in life are always so fleeting. You've been so distracted these past few days, and I just wanted to help you out. Result was a much change did help, and I'm happy my wish came true too. Larry pulls me into his embrace, and his breath warm in my hair, and his voice tinged with a hint of bitterness. And I really believe if I could create a work-only version of myself, I'll somehow manage all aspects of my life. But all my inspiration, passion, and joy come from you. The rest is just an empty shell. So you return to your eloquent self again. Don't worry, no matter which Larry it is, I will stand by your side just like you do for me. Larry smiles with a light, and he pulls a meteor-like crystal in my hand and opens his palm for me to choose. So, Mr. Detective, which version do you prefer? The little angel who keeps you company all the time? Or this time I press a finger to his lips to interrupt him? I love the one who, like me, has worries and whims, who is filled with joy when he sees each other, who is there for me during hard times, who faces challenges with me and always trusts me. Larry's eyes sparkle with endless sweetness, and we interlocking fingers holding the meteor together in our palms. Perhaps you and I are two perfectly complementary halves that never need to be apart. I lift me softly as the stars outside paint the sky with their splendor. Alright, that's a good place to leave it. Bye bye and God bless.